Chapter 1566 Lobbyists from various regions. Zhang Yi plundered the Yuanshe, or veins in Wuyo Valley. This operation was enough to make Xinjiang district fall into a shortage of resources for nearly a year. As before, it was difficult to build a large dome to provide heating, and daily energy applications had to return to the original level. Zhang Yi was very measured in doing things so that Xinjiang would not be seriously injured, but the people living in Xinjiang would feel real pain. People always have to pay the price for what they do. That night, Zhang Yi returned to Blizzard City. He did not return to Tianhai City, nor did he tell anyone in the 3 major bases of Tianhai City about this matter. Without him, the threat of the god of love would not exist. And living in Blizzard City, he was undoubtedly the safest. Here, if the god of love was activated in any area of the world, he would get the news at the first time. During this period, Deng Shintong was well informed and came to find him. Zhang Yi, does this matter have something to do with me? Deng Shintong felt a little guilty. After all, he took the initiative to invite Zhang Yi to this trip to Neon. Even the turmoil that was later caused in Qingdao was planned by him. Unexpectedly, Qin Shigong put all the blame on Zhang Yi. It's good that you know. So you'd better make a list and sort out the compensation for me, Zhang Yi said lazily to Deng Shintong. But he didn't blame Deng Shintong in his heart. This day will come sooner or later. Even if it weren't for this incident, his behavior as a lone wolf would also arouse the dissatisfaction of other regional forces. If Zhu Zheng has the ability to replace Zhang Yi, he is afraid that he is the one who most wants Zhang Yi to disappear. Deng Shintong touched his nose and said with a somewhat uncomfortable look, however, if things continue to be deadlocked like this, it will not be good for everyone. Zhang Yi glanced at him. Did someone ask you to come here as a lobbyist? Deng Shintong smiled awkwardly. The Deng family also has connections in Xinjiang, so, Zhang Yi said lightly, I am not an unreasonable person. But this time, Xinjiang took action against me first. If I don't express my opinion, won't others treat me as a soft persimmon? Deng Shintong asked. Then what kind of result do you want to be satisfied? Zhang Yi shook his head. I don't know. Deng Shintong was speechless for a moment. You at least have a condition so that others can talk to you. Now you say you don't know what you want. What's the point of talking? Although I don't know what I need. But when they give the conditions, I will know what I don't want. Zhang Yi raised the corner of his mouth. He lay on the sofa, leisurely enjoying Zhou Kura service. Those things are not what I need to worry about. Next, Zhang Yi no longer made any moves. Because his words have already worked. Because of this incident, the top leaders of Xinjiang district held meetings for several consecutive days to discuss this matter. A black chariot-level time and space dual attribute alien can appear anywhere in Xinjiang City within 2 minutes. As long as Zhang Yi wants, he can block the entry and exit of everyone in Xinjiang City. Although Zhang Yi has not killed anyone so far, this is like a sword of Damocles hanging over the heads of all Xinjiang people, making people feel uneasy. In the end, Xinjiang spent a lot of effort to summon the most prestigious people in Huashu country to discuss the solution of this matter with Zhang Yi in Blizzard City. Zhang Yi certainly has no objection to holding a meeting in his own territory. What's more, the people attending the meeting are basically old friends. Northwest Region, Northwest King. Emperor Go Chun Li Changgong. Northeast Region, Luya Daojun Han Shanzhua. East China Sea Region, Qinglong Su Xiaolong. Xinjiang Region, Zhen Yuanzi Zhongyu. Southwest Region sent an elderly living Buddha, Wang Bo Sangji. There are not many participants in the meeting, but they are all the most powerful and prestigious people in Huashu country today. It can be seen how much the Xinjiang region paid to calm Zhang Yi's anger. Just inviting them is not an easy task. The meeting was held at the command center in the central area of Blizzard City. Zhang Yi habitually organized his equipment and adjusted his condition to the best level. Once things change, he can burst out with the best combat power in the first time. Although the possibility of a fight to the death with these people is extremely low, as long as there is a possibility, Zhang Yi will not ignore it. After the preparations were completed, he put everyone into the shadow space and then walked into the meeting room under the guidance of Yan Yunwei.
Squeak.
The door of the meeting room was opened, and familiar figures came into view. Zhang Yi smiled slightly and raised his hand to greet them. Everyone, long time no see. Li Chonggong was wearing a military uniform, his hands folded on his chest, sitting upright in a chair. He looked at Zhang Yi and nodded coldly. Han Shanzhua raised his hand generously. Hey boy. I haven't seen you for a while. I heard that you are doing well recently. It's just so. Zhang Yi laughed, walked to the huge circular table, and sat down at his seat. Zhongyu crossed his hands on the table and said to Zhang Yi seriously, Hundun, this time our representatives from various regions came here in the hope of calming the impact of this incident. You have taken a large amount of yuanshi ore from Xinjiang. I hope you can stop. Internal consumption is not good for Huashu country. Zhang Yi glanced at him and asked lightly, I want to know who ordered Ho Tu to attack me. Is it Qin Shigong? Zhongyu frowned, hesitated for a long time, and then said vaguely, You are not completely without responsibility for this matter. Whether it is the trip to the southwest region or the trip to Neon, you have not reported to anyone. But you caused trouble outside, and Huashu country has to bear the consequences for you. Hundun, although I know you have no bad intentions, but you are too impulsive. Zhang Yi asked back, That means if I report it, it can be done? Zhongyu thought about it and couldn't refute it at all. Because Zhang Yi's two actions both prevented huge crises, the benefits to the 6 regions far outweighed the disadvantages. Theoretically, that's right. Zhang Yi sneered. Oh, that means I didn't do anything wrong. You said I was wrong just because I didn't say hello to you. He spread his hands and said, But this is the reason why Qin Shigong asked Ho Tu to take action against me? The guillotine of hell can kill people thousands of miles away. I have always heard of your name, but I didn't expect that one day it would fall on my head. Chapter 1567. War of Words. Zhongyu quickly explained, I know you have no bad intentions. But you are Ypsilon of Huaxi State, and your every move represents Huaxi State. But you are a lone wolf, and no one can restrain you. This is an extremely dangerous thing. Zhang Yi's eyes turned cold. He leaned forward, crossed his hands on the table, stared at Zhongyu's eyes and said slowly, Oh? Unrestrained power will become very dangerous, right? Zhongyu nodded quickly. Yes, that's what I mean. Zhang Yi laughed. Then, what is Ho Tu's power? Do you have anyone who can restrain hers? Isn't she using her power casually against me? Have you ever considered using a gentler method to convince me instead of such a rough method? Zhongyu couldn't refute this question for a while. Because Ho Tu is the patron saint of Xinjiang district and the ultimate weapon. Who can restrain her? Even Qin Shigong had to beg her for help, and he had no right to order. Thinking of this, Zhongyu felt that what he said was unreasonable. Setting such high standards for others, but in the end, you can't do it yourself. Zhang Yi spread his hands. So you see, things are very simple now. Whoever has the strength can afford it. The one with the bigger fist has the right to speak. Li Chonggong saw that Zhongyu was speechless, so he also spoke. Okay, chaos. This time they really went too far. But you also made Xinjiang district pay the price they deserve. I don't think there is any need to keep entangled in this matter. The overall situation should be the most important. Zhang Yi's face showed sarcasm. Li Chonggong came from the Xinjiang circle, so of course he spoke on their side. The overall situation is the most important? Isn't it the time when you relied on your strength to force the old commander of the Northwest District to abdicate? Vested interests, what qualifications do you have to come and teach me what the overall situation is? Li Chonggong was exposed, and his expression suddenly became unnatural. What do you want? If things get out of hand, none of us will benefit. Zhang Yi smiled coldly. He leaned back on the sofa and said lazily, I just want to seek justice for myself. Whoever attacked me must be punished. Otherwise, how can I cooperate with Xinjiang district in the future? Han Shanzhua's eyes widened. Fuck, awesome. Man, are you going to attack Ho Tu? This guy is a bit difficult.
Zhongyu shook his head.
Chaos, that's impossible. Ho Tu is the most important foundation of Xinjiang district. No matter what, she can't be touched. Zhang Yi asked back, Then the question is, I have no grudges against her. Why did she attack me? Chiong suddenly realized, you are looking for the person who asked her to attack. Who that person is, it is self-evident at this time. Zhongyu shook his head again. Zhong-yi, this is a bit too much. You should understand that this request is impossible to do. Zhong-yi spread his hands. That's something you need to consider. It was you who overturned the table first and put the gate of the hell guillotine on my neck. So now, my sword of Damocles will also hang on the neck of everyone in Shengjing. When you ask me to be magnanimous, please think about it first. If this happens to you, can you be as calm as me? In fact, I've been very restrained. Shengjing should be thankful that this person is me, Zhong-yi. As soon as these words came out, Li Chonggong and others subconsciously began to think about what would happen if they were suddenly attacked by Ho-Tu's ability from a distance. Thinking of this, they broke out in cold sweat on their backs. Not many people have seen Ho-Tu's ability, but they all know how terrible Ho-Tu's record was. She didn't take action many times. The most famous one was 2 years ago when she killed an alien who had entered the Ypsilon level. Thousands of miles apart, across mountains and seas. One move kills instantly. If this ability targets them, even if they don't die, they will probably be seriously injured. If at this time, the region happens to encounter a major incident, it may have a fatal impact on them. Zhang-yi took in everyone's expression and smiled contemptuously. If the knife doesn't fall on yourself, of course you won't feel the pain. But I'm leaving my words here today. Don't tell me about justice. Talk about putting the overall situation first. I, Zhang-yi, have come to where I am today by fighting for it step by step with caution. When I was in Tianhai City, fighting my way out of the pile of 20 million dead bodies, where was the overall situation you talked about? When I was starving and freezing, and enduring the crisis of death every day, where was the overall situation? Zhang-yi bang slapped the table. His words were extremely sharp. I, Zhang-yi, am just a small person. I don't have such a big vision. I only know that whoever doesn't want me to have a good life, I won't let him have a good life. After Zhang-yi finished speaking, he stood up. Okay, I've said everything I need to say. I'm waiting for your answers. Zhang-yi kicked the chair away and prepared to leave. There was no need to argue with them here. They only knew how to talk about big principles, which was a waste of time. Chaos. Li Chonggong slammed the table and shouted. I know you have become stronger, but you should not be too arrogant. If so many of us rush forward, you may not be able to kill us all. Zhang-yi paused for a moment when he heard this, and turned back to look at everyone present with a playful look. Wang Bo, living Buddha, raised his palm. Amiba, I never like fighting. Donor, calm down. Han Shanzhua also shook his head hurriedly. No. Buddy, we are never weak in a fight. It's just that there is really no need for this. Zhang-yi said, no need to bluff here. The real decision-maker is not here. After that, Zhang-yi walked out of the meeting room. After Zhang-yi left, Li Chonggong snorted coldly and sat back in his chair. Just now, he and Zhang-yi looked at each other, and he felt a chill on his back, as if he was being stared at by a tiger. I didn't expect that after half a year, his strength has improved so much. Even Zhongyu was killed by him in one move. My combat power is only 18,000, and his is at least 20,000. It's not easy to take the money given by Shengjing District, but I have said everything I need to say, and they can't say anything to me later. Among the people present, only Zhongyu frowned. Zhang-yi's attitude was firm, and he must let Qin Shigong or Ho-Tu bear the consequences of this matter. This will cause a big earthquake for the entire Shengjing District. Chapter 1568 Resignation. Zhongyu came this time, but he still failed to complete the task Qin Shigong had assigned to him. Zhang-yi was determined to make Shengjing explain this matter, and he refused to let the person behind the scenes go. And now, Zhongyu is also very clear that Zhang-yi has the qualifications to say such things. He sighed helplessly in his heart, gave up the plan to persuade Zhang-yi for the last time, and reported the news to Shengjing truthfully. As for Li Chonggong and others, although they also persuaded him, no one was willing to be an enemy of Zhang-yi. After the surface work was done, they went back. Shengjing. The top leaders held another meeting on this matter. After several days of consultation, Qin Shigong took the initiative to apply for resignation. This matter is my mistake in my work. I can't shirk my responsibility. If chaos must let someone give an explanation, then let me do it, Qin Shigong said helplessly at the high-level meeting. In response, the top leaders sitting below, the real decision-makers of Shengjing, looked at each other and nodded silently. If Qin Shigong is willing to step down, then it is the result that everyone wants to see. At this time, what Zhang Yi needs is an attitude from Shengjing district, which is also a step for him. From Zhang Yi's behavior, it can be seen that he did not attack Shengjing district crazily. Including when there was no valley and Shuilong city ahead, he did not kill a person from Shengjing at all. If you can think like this, it is of course the best, said a white-haired old man, who is one of the powerful figures in Shengjing. In terms of seniority, he is one generation higher than Qin Shigong. Someone immediately said, but after Qigong steps down, who can take his place? The uncles and aunts present are all old. They will only come forward when encountering major decision-making events in Shengjing district. But it is very cumbersome to manage the entire district on weekdays, and they no longer have enough time and energy to do it. Therefore, it is necessary to find a young man like Qin Shigong. Qin Shigong said, Ahem. Now I am still the supreme commander of Shengjing district, so for the successor, can I recommend someone? The senior executives cast inquiring eyes. Qin Shigong said, I think Meng Yuanjun can take my place. When hearing this name, many people showed a look of sudden enlightenment in their eyes. Meng Yuanjun and Qin Shigong are contemporaries. The two were once competitors, but they also worked together. And Meng Yuanjun's ability is really good. It's just, everyone looked at Qin Shigong and didn't quite understand his approach. After all, according to convention, no one would recommend a former rival to take the position when they step down. Qin Shigong just smiled faintly, and the smile was slightly bitter. Times have changed. If it were in peacetime, I certainly wouldn't let him climb over my head. But now the outside world has changed suddenly. Huashu country, and we may face difficult challenges at any time. So the position of the Supreme Commander must be filled by someone who has enough ability to control the overall situation. What he needs to take into account is not just the Shengjing region. It's the whole world. An old man nodded. You are right. It's rare for you to have such awareness. We will consider Meng Yuanjuan's problem carefully. 3 days later, news came from the Shengjing region. Qin Shigong officially resigned from the post of the Supreme Commander of the Shengjing region as the price for attacking the highest combat power of the Jiangnan region, Chaos. After receiving this news, Zhang Yi was relieved. Not directly causing a large-scale conflict is the best result. This news even surprised him a little, because he asked for a sky-high price at the beginning and never thought that Qin Shigong would step down. He just wanted to grab more benefits. That makes perfect sense, brother. After all, you are now a valuable strategic resource for the entire Huashu kingdom. Yang Xinxin smiled as she sat on Zhang Yi's lap, swinging her 2 white legs wrapped in black stockings. Zhang Yi smiled faintly. Of course I understand the truth. But I didn't expect that he would really give up the power in his hands. Yang Xinxin said, it's the current situation, and it's beyond anyone's control. Qin Shigong and Zhu Zheng are just representatives of a group. When they offend the interests of the group, they will naturally be affected accordingly. At this time, Liang Yu, who was holding Long Ming on the side, frowned, with a hint of worry in her eyes. Seeing her like this, Zhang Yi held his cheek with one hand and asked faintly, Liang Yu, what's wrong? Why do you look so sad? Liang Yu raised her head and looked at Zhang Yi, then looked at Yang Xinxin and others, and sighed. I don't understand why a person like Qin Shigong would make such an outrageous decision. Zhang Yi knew that she was not talking about Qin Shigong's resignation, but Qin Shigong letting Ho Tu take action against Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi smiled disapprovingly. This world is just a huge makeshift team. Those people you think are high and mighty and have no flaws don't exist at all. He pointed at Fatty Su, who was playing games not far away. Look, Even someone like Fatty Su is already a legendary figure in the Jiangnan region. Those who don't know him privately think that he must be a brave and fearless tough guy who has followed me through many battles, big and small. However, what is the truth? Fatty Su raised his head with an innocent look. First of all, I haven't offended anyone. Zhang Yi rolled his eyes at him. Go play games with your man's wife. Okay, boss. Fatty Su ran to the side happily. Zhang Yi said to Liang Yu the same. Qin Shigong has a halo on him, which makes you think that he must be wise and powerful, and every decision he makes is extremely wise. But in fact, no matter how smart a person is, he will be confused sometimes. He smiled, spread his hands, and said, What's more, there's a very important point. That is, he doesn't understand my true strength at all. Zhang Yi's explanation made Liang Yu's face reveal a look of enlightenment. In other words, we don't need to be misled by the halo of some people, right? We are all just ordinary people. Zhang Yi nodded and then said to the people waiting for his reply, Tell Xingjing that I am very satisfied with their wise decision. This matter ends here, and I hope we can work together in the future. Let's work hard to build Huaxiu into a harmonious, prosperous, and powerful country. Chapter 1569 Tianhai Fortress Plan. The clerk sent by Xingjing had a flattering smile on his face. He rubbed his hands and said, Mr. Hundun, you see, since Xingjing has given you a satisfactory answer to this matter, then can the Yuanshi veins you took away before be? No. Zhang Yi answered, without hesitation. What a joke! How can he spit out the things in his mouth? The clerk's face froze for a moment, and then he tried his best to fight. Even if it's just half of it, it's fine. After all, you took too much at one time, which is more than the total mining of the entire Xinjiang in the past 3 years. Zhang Yi walked over and patted him on the shoulder. What's yours and mine? We are all citizens of Huaxiu country. We are all working for our country. It's the same my hands as in Xinjiang district. My friend, you have to broaden your horizons. Then Zhang Yi ignored the clerk's pleading eyes and drove him out directly. Qin Shigong had resigned from the Xinjiang district, so naturally he would not fall out with him over the issue of Yuanshi veins. This time, Zhang Yi made a lot of money. He happily took everyone with him, said goodbye to Zhuzheng, and prepared to return to Tianhai City. However, he had no intention of returning the satellite control rights of the Jiangnan region to Zhuzheng. Zhang Yi walked out of the room and looked up at the bright sky in the haze. Snowflakes were still falling, and the endless deep space gave people a strong sense of uneasiness, as if a huge god of death of love would fall from it at any time. We must consider this impact, Zhang Yi said softly. Yang Xinxin said to Zhang Yi, Brother, there is no need to worry about this problem. We can detect the current movements of any launch silo in the world. There is enough time to react. Zhang Yi rubbed his eyebrows. But this is not enough. Even if we can predict these in advance, our base in Tianhai City still has the possibility of being attacked and destroyed by others. When I think of this, I feel uncomfortable. He then looked to the side. His chief mechanic and the only mechanical expert, Liu Karen, had exquisite short hair and stood behind him obediently in a black down jacket with white fur edges. Her small face is so white and tender that it is hard to imagine that she can move a 30-kilogram machine with her bare hands. Karan, have you made any progress in your research? I proposed the plan to turn Tianhai City into a huge fortress before. Is it feasible? When Lu Kuoran heard Zhang Yi mention his work field, he immediately showed an excited expression on his face. Brother, it's already in the plan. Now the outer wall of our shelter has been replaced by me for the 6th time. The current basement can withstand the impact of the small god of love. The most important thing is the addition of the barrier stone material. It has a good defensive effect on the attacks of aliens. Barrier stone is a material that Zhang Yi found in the Nash kingdom underground in the southwest region. Although the Nash kingdom has been living in the lifestyle of the ancient kingdom, they have mastered the special material of barrier stone, which can have a greater impact on the abilities of aliens. Even Zhang Yi and others suffered a lot because of it in the Nash kingdom. Zhang Yi was particularly impressed by it, So, he brought a lot of it back and gave it to Liu Keran for research. Hearing that Liu Keran had achieved good results, Zhang Yi nodded with satisfaction. Very good. We must constantly update our fortifications. Zhang Yi took a deep breath. I have such a feeling. Sooner or later, we will face a stronger enemy. His muscles shrank, and he subconsciously wanted to hug his shoulders. Only an absolutely unbreakable defense can give me enough sense of security. He planned it. In the future, if there are things like the source of God or the spirit of sacrifice, they must be left for Liu Keran to use. I don't care how strong her combat power is, I just hope she can build the most solid shelter in the world for Zhang Yi. Shengjing City. Under the gloomy sky with snow and wind, the military airport in Shengjing City is now on high alert, and the air is filled with a bleak and murderous smell. On both sides of the road, the Longming guards wearing combat uniforms and holding special weapons in their hands stood straight like javelins. The gate of the indoor airport has been opened, and a huge F-37 is parked at the door like a cigar, waiting to set off. In the midst of the wind and snow, a gray-haired old man in a gray-green military coat walked over step by step. This old man, who had been in power in Shengjing District for 3 years, although he resigned today, not only did he not look lonely, but he looked much more relaxed. He arrived at the airport under the escort of the guards. After resigning, he will leave Shengjing and go to Ningqing, on the edge of Shengjing District, to take charge of work. The living conditions there are much worse than those in Shengjing, and the population and resources are very scarce. Originally, the senior management of Shengjing prepared very good retirement conditions for him, hoping that he could retreat to the second line. However, Qin Shigong just laughed. After the end of the world, the situation in the world has not yet stabilized. My heart does not want to be silent. He said so, and took the initiative to apply to go to Ningqing to build that bitter and cold place. Qin Shigong arrived at the airport, and the guard was carrying a box and was about to put it in. He escorted her onto the plane. But at this moment, a man came from another direction. A tall and thin middle-aged man who was about the same age as Qin Shigong, but looked younger. This was Meng Yuanjun, who succeeded Qin Shigong and became the second supreme commander of Shengjing District during the special period. The two old friends and old rivals met again and looked at each other. Qin Shigong smiled, but Meng Yuanjun's expression was a little complicated. Seeing this, the guards beside him stepped back a few steps very tactfully. The two people walked towards each other. Qin Shigong stretched out his right hand and said to Meng Yuanjun, "Congratulations, Lao Meng. From now on, you will be the head of Shengjing District." The two vigorous and powerful hands were clasped together tightly. Meng Yuanjun said, "I couldn't believe it when I heard that you recommended me." Qin Shigong showed a deep smile on his face. "You will understand why I did this in the future." Meng Yuanjun raised his eyebrows. "No need to do that in the future. Don't think I don't know that this position is not so easy to sit in. Now is not a peaceful era. Huaxiu is facing various problems due to internal and external troubles. As the representative of the Shengjing region of Huaxiu, its supreme commander has to worry about a lot." Qin Shigong laughed. "What? Are you scared?" "Just kidding. What am I afraid of?" Meng Yuanjun laughed. "It's just that I didn't expect that you would be confused sometimes." He stared at Qin Shigong and said meaningfully. Chapter 1570, Shadow Force. Meng Yuanjun's words naturally refer to Qin Shigong's unauthorized use of Ho-Tu to attack Hundun. He spread his hands. Ypsilon is the highest level of combat power in a country. Even space-based weapons are not as important as them. But you provoked a fight between them. This approach must be said to be very stupid. Qin Shigong sneered. Meng Yuanjun, although I overturned this time. But remember, he raised his proud head, his eyes full of pride. I did nothing wrong. Man proposes. God disposes. There is no problem with my judgment of Ypsilon. The country needs balance and cannot let one person dominate. The knight-errant uses martial arts to break the law, and the aliens also hold powerful power and are prone to do extraordinary things. This point, you will have a deeper understanding after you take office. Meng Yuanjun was silent for a while. then smiled and shook his head. I'm different from you? Chiong asked back. How are you different from me? Do you have any better means to restrain those undisciplined people? Meng Yuanjun smiled and said, you, now or in the past, have an old problem. No matter how big the matter is, you must ask it yourself and don't trust the ability of others. Maybe we are all old now. If we always want to control everything, it will be easy to do nothing well. Chiong looked Meng Yuanjun up and down.
What do you mean by this?
Are you saying that I don't trust them? You don't trust anyone. Meng Yuanjun said meaningfully, what this world will become in the future, none of us knows. Can our old experience really cope with the world today? You hope to set things right and let everything return to the scene before the end of the world. But you forget that everything can't go back. Chiong's heart was shocked. As an old friend and old opponent, Meng Yuanjun exposed his thoughts in one sentence. He was afraid of young people like Zhang Yi. Because young people do things more unbridled and ostentatious, making him feel that he can't control everything. This may be the reason why he attacked Zhang Yi. Chiong's eyes were a little confused. Could it be that he really acted only for his own selfish interests, rather than for the greater good as he thought? When you arrive in Ningqing, take some time to think about this problem. Times are changing, and we should change too. Don't be afraid of all this, so that you can better integrate into this world. Meng Yuanjun patted him on the shoulder, and then turned and left. After he left, Chiong's guards came over carefully and supported the unconscious Chiong. Qin Shui, let's go. Chiong didn't say anything, but turned around blankly and walked up the plane's gangway with the help of the guards. But his back seemed to have aged by a dozen years in an instant. Zhang Yi's conflict with Shengjing district came to an end. But everyone knows that once a rift is created, even if it is repaired, it is difficult to completely cover up the scars of the past. This incident gave Zhang Yi a warning. Only when you are strong can you face all dangers calmly. You must never pin your hopes for safety on others. I must build a safe kingdom of my own. In Tion High City, I don't need to rely on anyone. I can also face any external crisis that may come. Zhang Yi firmly believed in this. Soon, he brought everyone back to Tion High City. This time he returned, he began to take the initiative to build Tion High City. Lu Karen was responsible for building a fortress with super strong defense with the shelter as the center. And the scope is not just the shelter, but it began to spread to the surroundings to expand the safe area. In addition, the trip to Edo also sounded a wake-up call for Zhang Yi. For a long time, there were too few people around him, and only Liang Yu and a few others could serve as assistants to assist in the battle. When facing a large army, it is easy to suffer. For example, when fighting with the evil boy, the guy's own strength would not exceed 16,000 points at most. But with the help of the entire Edo city's 500,000 people, he actually posed a certain threat to Zhang Yi in the way of the nomadic world. He began to put away his contempt for ordinary people and low-level aliens. Even in a war between high-level mutants, low-level mutants are not completely useless. People with special abilities can create unexpected effects. And a large number of ordinary people with abilities, as long as the number is large enough, can also affect the situation on the battlefield. This is Zhang Yi's current understanding. Therefore, he decided to build his own mutant force, Fortifying. Yang Xinxin was responsible for the Fortifying project. The training ground was built 100 kilometers southeast of the shelter. They built a mutant training school based on a chemical factory. The first batch of trainees was only 30, all of whom were the best players selected from the entire Tion High City. Among these people, there was the previous life the leaders of the base, Xiao Honglian, Xing Tian, and Lu Dehai. After all, among the aliens in Tion High City, they are considered to be more talented. If they are trained well, they will have a good chance to become deputy captains or even captain-level aliens in the future. The training instructors are Bailey Chongqing, Wu Di, and others who are called by Zhang Yi. Yang Xinxin is the principal, responsible for the overall training and the most critical brainwashing. According to Zhang Yi, strength is not the most important thing. The most important thing is loyalty. You must have the determination to obey Zhang Yi's orders absolutely, even at the cost of your life. Only such people can be used. Otherwise, if there are some strong but rebellious people who do not obey Zhang Yi's orders, it will cause trouble for Zhang Yi. In terms of training, Bailey Chongqing and Wu Di brought the most formal Yanyanwei training method. Physical fitness, weapons, close combat, special skills training. They will cultivate their basic abilities and improve their personal abilities. In order to show support for Zhang Yi, Deng's technology, which Zhang Yi spent a long time cultivating, also provided mature gene drugs to help them quickly improve their strength. Among them, the more outstanding aliens can also get the centipede origin provided by the centipede farm. It can be said that all the resources that the Fueying troops can get are the best in Huashu country, even surpassing the level of the regional investigation team. Soon, the strength of the first batch of 30 people has made a huge leap. The most talented aliens even soared all the way, and their ability index reached the level of 7,000 points. In addition, cultural courses are naturally indispensable. Of course, these are not ordinary humanities and geography knowledge but standard brainwashing courses. As for the teacher, it was the businessman who Zhang Yi rescued from Yanlu Island Ma Wenjing.